Good morning, it's Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. So proud to be with you today. Today is the fourth day of October. It doesn't seem possible, of 2011. It is hard to believe, very hard to believe that we are here. But we're going to talk in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. We're going to look in there this morning for a few minutes. And we're going to look at a practice in life. This is a practice. This is not something that just happens. And you got to practice patience. Patience is going to bring forth some things that can multiply into what God calls love and charity and whatever. But you got to practice patience first. And once you practice some patience, it turns into love. And that love becomes a passive love, or a passionate love, not in a hurry. It suffers long, it says here. And charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. And whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. But love will never vanish away. Love is something we must have, and we must use on a daily basis. Love is not in a hurry. You can't hurry away from love. Love is something you learn through some patience. You visit somebody and you have an urgent need to be somewhere else. But you got to devote some time to that person for a little while. And you need to show your love and do that. And not let other things distract you. Give yourself to that person for a little while. And suffereth long, it said. And love bears up under a lot of things. Love bears up under a lot of things. I'm dealing with a love situation right now that with a young person that I'm having a hard time with, because he doesn't seem to want to do right. He does want to do right, but he's not able to do right. The devil's got him beguiled to do wrong. And he really wants to do right. He just has got a problem to be able to do it. And so, love beareth long, though, and will bring that young man through his trial and his tribulation. And it's not in a hurry. Love's not in a hurry. It suffers long. It bears up under the rigors. Love believes. Hope. Love makes hope. You can make hope in other people by loving them. People need love. They need you to love them earnestly and truthfully and honestly. And not some of this stuff they call love today in the world, but true love from the heart. The love of God is to love a man, a woman, boy or girl, no matter what they do or what they've done. You know, God looks on the heart. I make some statements to some people a lot of times, and they say, Brother Peter, that man right there is absolutely not going to get into heaven. I said, why? Because of his actions. Well, do you know actions sometimes are deceptive? Do you know, I know some men with some of the best hearts in the world that cannot bring their actions around to where their heart is. They've been trying and they're working on it, but they haven't been able to succeed yet. You know what you do with that person? You love them through. You bring them through. You love them through. You bring them through. You keep the door open, have communication, and work through this thing with them. And then hope. And then endures all things. Love, it says in verse 4 here, endures all things. Love endures all things. Where are we? I think let me see if I slip back here a couple pages to where we read a little while ago. In here to chapter 4, I think it was. Let's look. And verse 7. Let's go back in our Bible. If you're not turning the pages of your Bible, you're making a big mistake in life. You need to be turning the pages of your Bible. And if you're not, you're making a real big mistake. 4 and verse 7, it says, For who maketh thee to differ from another? And what hast thou that thou didst not receive? Now if thou did receive it, why dost thou glory, as if thou hast not received it? Now, we receive different measures. Each one of us receive different measures of love. And we have to practice love. Love is a practice. It's a practice. You got to practice patience. You got to practice love. You can't just, you can have love and not display it. That's not real love. Real love is displayed. You practice displaying it. You show people that you have it. You go to the window at McDonald's or somewhere, and you order, and it comes in wrong. Well, if you don't eat it like it is, and you are going to take it in love, and say, hey, you know, I believe you may gave me somebody else's bag, because this is what I ordered, and be nice about it. Be nice about it. Show that you really are what you say you are. Are you a Christian? Are you a person that says you follow Jesus Christ and you get all ugly over a simple mistake or a simple... I say this, and I've said it 100 times, and I think it gets old to some people. But those folks in those little restaurants are under great pressure. They're under great pressure to get to work when they can't get to work, when they don't have any money. They haven't made enough money to even live on, let alone eat. And they can't even eat. They usually got home problems. They got all kinds of problems. And they come in there, and then they meet some ugly person like you comes in there and chomps their butt and gets all over them because they didn't hear you correctly. And besides, the machine sat outdoors and on that guy's head, he can't hear good either. The motor's running on the car. Other people are ordering in another machine. They've got all kinds of crossed up hearing in there. And everybody in there is muttering and chattering and griping and grumbling and around them. And things are being thrown and nobody's happy. And they got to take an order and get it right. I tell you what, it's a little bit of a problem. You need to be loving. You need to be loving. Are you a true Christian? What is a true Christian, Brother Peter? That's somebody who first said, Jesus, I realize I'm a sinner. Forgive me of my sin. Come in my heart and save my soul. And when you do that and mean it, you now have a Jesus Christ in your heart. Now, to be a Christian is to open a Bible, read about Jesus, who he was, what he did, what he taught, and learn how to follow that. And then you can be called a Christian. Now, there are Christians who are good followers, and there are Christians who aren't. Be a good follower. We'll see you next time. Our time is come and gone.